two of the things that stand out to me are the incredible use of layering and also the use of the human figure. So I was wondering if you might talk about your process from the conception of the work and how it evolves from there.
I have three different series represented here today, which is sort of nice. But on the canvas pieces, I really begin with a graphic idea. And then I allow myself an uninhibited, free-flowing underpainting. I just take the canvas and start handling like a child, because I don't want to stop that flow. It feels like, to me, at that point, everything is new. It's the beginning. And from there, I take plaster, like regular building plaster, and I mix it to different consistencies, sometimes thick, sometimes thin, and I start to layer the plaster on top of the underpaint. Before I do that, sometimes too, I also do some collage underneath. Not always, but sometimes I like to add a little bit of collage. So when I start doing the layering, I like to allow that underpainting to show through, and that sort of represents to me the experience. The layering is the experiences of life, and underneath the essence of who we are is still showing through. With these paintings, these sleeping portraits, I call them, I take a canvas and bits, and then I glue them on top of the plaster and the painting. Then I take faces that I love, am attracted to, and I draw them with their eyes closed, which for me is talking about going into the inner self. And then I dress them with cloth, fabrics, and buttons, and pieces of things like that I find that relate to the essence of that person that I sort of intuitively work with. And I like to sometimes try to have a little sense of humor with it as well. So that's what these sleeping portraits are. The Wounded series, which are these other pieces, begin the same way with the underpainting and then the plaster, but they're a little more transparent. They show the wounds that are underneath. It's what I the wounds, the wrinkles, the scars, and it makes what the essence of a beautiful person is. I mean, that's what we are. That's where life takes us, and that's where I get the figures. I mean, I actually allow that. I put the plaster on and the layering, and then I look and watch, and I can see eventually a figure will emerge, or a face, or something. And it's just that's the long process. That's when I sit and just stare at it for a long, long time. And then once I see it, I know it, and I just go for it and bring it out. The third series is the assemblage pieces, which is this one right here, and then there's Joan of Art, which is behind the desk. And those are assemblage sculptures of found objects. I've always been a person in my family that collects old photographs, the documents, and I like things that have a past, that are survivors, that have had a purpose before, and I like to take them and juxtapose them against each other and create a new story with them. So that this one over here, Joan of Art, she, for me, represents women in art, women artists, and she's a warrior, and she has to fight for her time and space to be creative, which unfortunately still happens in this day and age. So that's sort of my process. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Alan? Yes. What about the new series?
This is
The new series.
yeah, that's part of the Wounded series, right? Yeah. I decided to with the newer series to leave off the graphics, which black bars. Someone just asked me about that, what the purpose of those were, and I felt like they were supportive. And then maybe I felt stronger and decided I didn't need them anymore. So the newer pieces have sort of been, they're consecutive pieces, I've been leaving them off. So, and then the one I told a few people today too about Nefertiti. That was the last piece I just did, and the face came out, and I said to my husband, I said, "Do you see that? Do you see that face?" And he went, "Yeah." So I started working with her and letting it come out, and then I read in the paper a couple of, like a week after I started working on it, that Nefertiti, the sculpture, the one and only sculpture of her, is moving for the first time in 60 years since the war. She was in Germany, I believe, and now she's moving back to Egypt. And it was pretty amazing. I kind of went, oh, wow, you know. She came and told me